Right, we're live now. Namaste everyone, welcome to Hindi University. Really excited to have all of you this Sunday. As you know, my name is Ashutosh and we meet every Sunday 8 a.m. US Pacific time, which is time on the west coast of the US, and we learn about the Hindi language. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Hindi University. You can also go to our website, which is hindiuniversity.org, and find out how you can engage and learn about the classes, about the practice sessions. I also provided a little bit of information for you, in case if you are not aware of HU. In case if you're interested in joining the live sessions every Sunday, you can use the Zoom link that I provided to join the Sunday classes. And we also have community on WhatsApp and Discord. To sign up, we have this WhatsApp group. You can scan on it. Once you get enrolled, we'll just ask basic questions and let you into the appropriate, forums. With that being said, as you know, this one is an intermediate plus class, right? So this year, even though we are using two books, Pingu Learns Hindi and Elementary Hindi by Professor Richard Delacy, and Sudha Joshi, Richard Delacy is also a professor at the Harvard University, right? So this class really requires, you to have some basic understanding and understanding of most of the grammatical, concepts that we have, because what we are learning, it's on top of, the concepts, where you are required to know, at least the pronouns and the verbs, adjective, adverbs, okay? Right now we are on chapter number 23rd of Richard Delacy's book and Sudha Joshi's book. And my goal for this class is, by the end of this class, we'll finish a topic called relative, correlative, adjectives and adverbs, okay? So in the last two classes, we focused on relative, correlative pronouns. We spent about 2 classes on it, okay? Just like Hindi language has, and a lot of languages, like it has relative, correlative pronouns. Similarly, adjectives and adverbs can also be relative and correlative. So we will practice throughout the class. So just to do a quick recap for relative and correlative pronouns, this is the, where we spent last week, 2 weeks, we spent time on it. So imagine you have a sentence where a pronoun is getting repeated or a noun is getting repeated twice in a sentence, where you speak about a man is reading a book, the man is my brother. Like if you are saying 2 sentences, that's a different thing, but it doesn't sound so, grammatically, like, it doesn't obviously come to you. So you would rather say the man who is reading the book is my brother. And we learned this who is not an interrogative. It's basically your, relative and correlative, basically. आदमी जो किताब पढ़ रहा है वो मेरा भाई है. So in Hindi, as opposed to saying the man twice, you would say jo and wo, okay? And we practiced around it. We also practiced that, these, just like we have jo and wo, just like pronouns are followed by postpositions, right? They have relationship with other nouns and pronouns. Similarly, jo and wo will also be followed by postpositions, right? So the goal for this class is now take it one level further and speak about what about adjectives and adverbs. Can they also be used in a correlative and relative fashion? If yes, what are their forms? Okay. So just to kind of give you an example through the slide, and we'll do the whiteboarding session. I definitely want you to focus on first adjectives, and we'll go to adverbs afterwards. So we'll focus on 2 of these, pairs, and after that you should be able to translate a lot yourself as well. Okay. So look at it this way. When you say adjective, like let's talk about what is adjective very quickly. Okay. Anybody would like to give a quick definition of what is adjective and what are some of the examples of adjectives in Hindi? Anybody can unmute, because we are just warming up. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. What are Hindi adjectives?
Namaste, Ashutosh.
Yes,
Sheila
yes, no,
here. I've just joined Ashutosh. Apologies for being late.
no, no,
Um,
it's all good. How are you doing?
मैं अच्छी हूँ. Adjectives describe things. So
Yeah,
it's like big, small, large, um, precious, rich,
so
poor.
they describe noun or the pronoun, like so big, small, tall, large,
Yeah.
right? So very good, right? So they describe the quality here, right, or the quantity, right? So when you say something about, like, what about how much? What adjective will you use to describe how much? Shilaji, how much or how many?
Am I the only one here today? Kidney.
Yeah, very good. There you go, right? So, for example, like you want to know, how much money do you have, right? I mean, you would use, kitna to describe that, right? And then so basically the right way to think about it is like, you think about itna. Itna, when you think about itna, it's this much. Okay, this much. This is again the correlative adjective, which describes something that is near to you. Itna. Okay. Similarly, if something is further away from the subject, same thing can be utna. Okay, utna. Then the relative adjective for that is jitna. Okay, this is same thing that we did in the previous two classes, but in the previous two classes it was around pronoun, but now it's around adjectives, right? So itna, utna, then the corresponding relative adjective is jitna, and the corresponding interrogative is kitna. Okay, how much? Okay, so imagine, you want to compare and contrast. So I hope you were able to write it down. We'll do the whiteboarding session now. Imagine you have to compare and contrast, and you want to say something like, it's not. So you have something like you want to say something like it's sweet. We'll start simple. It's sweet. Okay, first let's do that. It's sweet. uh, then let's talk about it's not sweet. Okay, then you have it's not as sweet. Okay, then you have it's not as sweet as it's not as sweet as an apple or a strawberry. I just wrote basic, sentences, and then with the help of this one, we'll try to build this framework. So, this, itna, utna, jitna, and kitna that we wrote, it will come naturally to you. Okay, and how to use them in sentences. So, imagine you have this thing. It's sweet. Okay, you would simply say यह मीठा है. यह मीठा है. मीठा is sweet. It's sweet. यह मीठा है. In this one, यह मीठा नहीं है. Okay, यह मीठा नहीं है. Okay, now when you have it's not as sweet. Okay, यह you can use interchangeably for the most part, like itna and utna. But what would you say for this one? It's not as sweet. Delia? It's not as sweet.
सॉरी यह इतना मीठा नहीं है.
Very good, right? So you'll say यह इतना मीठा नहीं है. यह इतना मीठा नहीं है. So you will end up using the the adjective, which is basically like we just covered in the slide. Basically, when we're talking about it, we give me 1 minute, and I'm gonna bring up the slide quickly for you as well so you can see. So what we say, यह इतना मीठा नहीं है, you ended up saying this one, the correlative adjective, which is assuming that you are close to the other fruit, or or you recently spoke about something and you are trying to contrast it. यह इतना मीठा नहीं है. Now, obviously, when you're saying it, you are comparing it with something else. Okay? यह इतना मीठा नहीं है. Some of you, if you're wondering, can I use utna there? Yes, for the most part, if it's a standalone sentence, you can say यह उतना मीठा नहीं है. How would you say this one? It's not as sweet as an apple.
यह सेब जितना मीठा नहीं है.
Yes, very good. So you can add, if you can want to say it standalone, you can say यह apple, or you said सेब, यह सेब जितना मीठा नहीं है. Wonderful. So you can say यह सेब जितना मीठा नहीं है. You ended up using the relative adjective for that. यह सेब जितना मीठा नहीं है. Okay? Or you can say यह उतना मीठा नहीं है, यह उतना मीठा नहीं है जितना सेब है, which is the literal translation. It's not as sweet. यह उतना मीठा नहीं है as an apple, जितना सेब है. Okay? यह उतना मीठा नहीं है जितना सेब है. Okay? If it is too much for you, where you end up using both utna and jitna, you can simply say what Rita ji said. यह apple जितना मीठा नहीं है. Okay? आप रॉजर जितने एजाइल नहीं हो. Okay? I'm just making it up. और आप सारा जितने क्विक नहीं हो, which means like you're not as quick as Sarah. Okay? आपके पास जॉन जैसी एनर्जी नहीं है. Okay, I think I end up using Jesse, but John जितनी एनर्जी नहीं है. Okay, let's do more examples so it basically fits. The pattern fits. For everyone. Okay, so this is just one simple example. We'll do more so you all get comfortable with it. And once we are done, you feel free to ask questions around it. So now, imagine you have like this. We're talking about comparing heights. Okay, you have where. I'm going to write it down. I want all of you to think about it. लंबा नहीं है, मैं हूं. Okay, imagine this is A, this is B. I want all of you to think about, at least try to take a guess. What would you put in A? What would you put in B? Okay, वह लंबा नहीं है, मैं हूं. And वह could be anyone, right? John, Sarah, Mary, whatever, right? I mean, so you can use Zoom chat, or you can use Facebook chat, however you want to post it. What would you put in A and what would you put it in B? And yeah, feel free to put the right form of whatever you put here based on if you are a male or a female. Okay, very good Nandini ji, very good Linda ji. Okay, I'm going to give one more minute. So uh, jitna, jitni, it's you can change it based on who is saying it. Jitna for a male, jitni for a feminine singular, okay, or jitne for masculine plural. Okay, let's see. JDG, why don't you unmute yourself and say the thing with the right relative and correlative adjectives here. What would
वो
you?
इतना लंबा नहीं है जितना मैं हूँ.
Very good. So you will say wo. You said itna. Let me put it utna here basically. Utna and jitna, they basically go in pairs. Okay. So
Okay.
वह उतना लंबा नहीं है जितना मैं हूँ. Okay. If assuming that वह it's a masculine singular, jitna is also like you. If you are talking, you are also saying for yourself, jitna मैं हूँ. Okay. If you're talking about, let's say, girl, both the cases, वह उतनी लंबी नहीं है जितनी मैं हूं. Right? So makes sense, right? वह उतनी लंबी नहीं है जितनी मैं हूं. She is not as tall as I. Okay. So you can change it based on you're talking about a male or a female there. Yeah. Any questions?
How would it work then if it was they? They are not as big as I am.
वे, yeah, you can say. Very good. So वे, what do you think?
I don't know. With nay?
Very good. उतने, very good. There you go. वे उतने लंबे नहीं हैं जितना मैं हूं. Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. So I think once you know the pattern JDG, you don't need to memorize it. It will come naturally. वे उतने लंबे नहीं हैं जितना मैं हूं. Right. Any other questions on this one before I give more example? Let's do about weight. Okay, we have height, we have weight also. You will say मेरा height, weight is वजन. Right, so I'm going to just put I'm going to put this one वजन. मेरा वजन नहीं है. Simple thing basically. Let's do it quickly. So you again have A and B. मेरा वजन नहीं है, तुम्हारा है. And I want everyone to participate so that way at least you get to practice. Sharon ji, what do you think? Read it out loud.
मेरा वजन इतनी नहीं है जितना तुम्हारा है.
So मेरा वजन, by the way, again as I said, you can use them interchangeably, utna and itna. Okay, so don't be confused with that. मेरा वजन उतना नहीं है जितना तुम्हारा है. I'm not as I do not weigh, my weight is not as much as yours. My weight is not as much as yours.
Let me
Okay.
just ask a quick question here, Ashuji.
Yeah, please.
This the first one where you have written utna, but I had said utni.
Yeah, so it would be vajan is considered like the mera vazan. You're talking about my weight, right? It's not like female per se, right? I mean my weight. You're not comparing that, okay? You're not saying मैं उतनी लंबी नहीं हूँ. मेरा वजन basically, right? My weight. That's why it's utna or itna.
Because vazan is masculine?
Right, my weight.
Okay.
मेरा वजन उतना नहीं है जितना तुम्हारा है. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Now let's say you want to say something like, so right now I wrote A and like these examples with fill in the blanks.
Asuji, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
In the first example, you have lumba, which is the tall thing. But in this example, there's no thing. Where's the more? Or I don't see it. My weight as not. I don't see
I do not weigh as much as you.
Where's the as much?
So my weight is not as much as yours. It's essentially that's what you have. You can say it in English like I do not weigh as much as you, but like differently, but that you have it, right? As much. My weight,
As much as the utna, right?
that's right. मेरा
Oh,
वजन
okay. Okay.
yeah.
JT, I am not as much tall as you are. Don't think of it as more.
Know when to
Okay.
use utna and when to use itna.
So itna is basically this much. Okay. When you say itna is this much, utna is
That
that.
much.
That's right. That much. Kitna is how
How
much.
much?
Okay. And
But how
jitna,
can,
huh?
but how can I know when this is something near or something far? Like
You
my weight is something that it is near to me. Why I am not using itna with weight?
so you can use interchangeably, for this
Okay.
example. If you do not know the
Uh-huh.
concept, you can use it interchangeably. Okay. But generally speaking, you can. Utna is not my I'm not, my weight is not, that as much as yours basically, right? It's not
Uh-huh.
as much as yours, right? That's what you have. Your question is when do I use itna versus utna, right?
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
can use it interchangeably, but generally speaking, they go in pairs, utna and jitna. But if you were to use itna here also, that's correct. It's not incorrect. You can use it.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
something, Shuji, the same
Yes.
sentence. If I can just say it as, how much your weight is, that much weight is not. I'm not. Something like that. That's how the literal translation would be, isn't it? How
That's
much
right.
your weight is,
Mhm.
my weight is not that much.
Right. That's right. So you can, what you're saying is how much your weight is. What would you say?
No, I mean, for jitna and utna, that's how it
That's right.
translates.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Literal translation. That's right. What you're saying it. And any more question on this one before we sort of
Yeah,
um
I have a quick
yeah,
question. So in the
yeah,
first sentence, lomba is a adjective, right? Lomba.
that's right.
But in the second one, vajan is a noun. Is that
So, but you're talking about you're comparing the weight, mera vajan, my weight,
okay, okay.
right? My weight is, not like this much versus that much, right? I mean, so you're comparing that. Yeah.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
that makes
Let's do some more example. My suggestion is let's not do translation, because then it kind of gets to you. Just intuitively use this pattern that we have. So imagine you have, so far we spoke about weight, we spoke about height. Now you want to say, you want to compare and contrast the number of books. And you want to say something like, I do not have as many books as you have. Okay, it's a little harder. Okay, I do not have as many books as as you have. So I want all of you to think about it. Okay, and then write it in the chat. I do not have as many books as you have. If you find it hard, start with I have books. Okay, then you talk about I have this many books. Okay, it'll then make it much easier. I'm going to write it as well so that way it's easier for you to. So the sentence is I don't have as many books as you have. Remember, to have is when you talk about possession, what post position do you use? Who would like to give
Past.
it? Yeah.
के पास
K pass. Very good. K pass. Very good. K pass. So when I say I have, when I say I have a laptop, it would be,
मेरा पास एक लैपटॉप है.
you will say मेरे पास एक laptop है. So I think I gave you enough hint. Now with this, you have this sentence. I don't have as many books as you have. Okay, okay, very good, Sheila ji. Okay, Delia, awesome. Jackie ji, okay. Oh wow, a lot of you already did it. Okay, anyone else? Okay, let's see. Who would like to answer this one? I'm gonna say someone who's not right. Angela ji, you want to give it a try? I don't have as many books as you have.
Okay, I'll try. इतनी किताबें मेरे पास है जितनी आपके पास है
I do not have as many books as you have. मेरे पास
इतनी किताबें नहीं है
मेरे पास इतनी किताबें नहीं हैं.
जितनी
ओके,
आपके पास है
वेरी गुड. मेरे पास इतनी किताबें नहीं हैं जितनी आपके पास है.
आपके पास है
ओके, मेरे पास इतनी किताबें नहीं हैं जितनी किताबें आपके पास है और जितनी आपके पास है. ओके, if you're finding it hard, think about it this way. I do not have as many books as you have. Okay, so you can put this also in the beginning as you have, which is like the number of books that you have, I do not have it. Okay, so you can also say जितनी किताबें आपके पास है, जितनी किताबें आपके पास है मेरे पास नहीं है. So you can completely remove the itna utna thing here. Okay, if it is confusing you, because it's much easier to do it this way. Okay, जितनी अच्छी हिंदी आप बोलते हो और आप बोलती हो मैं नहीं बोलता, then you don't have to worry about like itna utna, right? It's repetitive. Okay, जितना तेज रॉजर दौड़ता है मैं नहीं दौड़ता. ओके, जितनी आइसक्रीम केली जी को पसंद है मुझे पसंद नहीं. ओके, और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट? आई मीन सो और जितना सॉफ्ट स्पोकन जेडी है मैं नहीं हूँ, राइट? सो आई होप इट मेक्स सेंस. यू कैन चेंज इट अराउंड टू रियली सी व्हाट fits your style. Okay, this one it's definitely much easier. Okay, because then you don't have to sort of think about twice about itna utna, right? So you can change it. Any questions before we do some more examples?
For the last one, if you were to put itni before the mere, would that work?
Which one?
If you put itni before mere, so jitni kitab aapke paas hai, itni mere paas nahi hai.
Yes, you can say itni. You can put utni mere paas nahi hai. Yes, you can put it here. But I'm saying it becomes implied. Like if you don't put it here, anything, it is implied that you are talking about like jitni, and then there is a corresponding implied there, which is hidden. Yeah.
Ashutosh ji, I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, the second one is easier, as you said.
This one?
I formed second one. Yeah, second one. That one is easier. I formed a sentence. It looks like wrong only. Just wanted to know why it is wrong. आपके पास उतना किताबें है जितना किताबें मेरे पास नहीं है.
So you will say आपके पास. What did you say? आपके पास
उतना किताबें है.
आपके पास उतनी किताबें हैं.
उतनी किताबें हैं जितनी किताबें मेरे पास नहीं है.
So it's the order is reversed basically. That's the only thing is, right? Because you are using what is the reference here, right? You're using I don't have as many books as you have. So that's the reference. The reference is that the other person's the number of books they have,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why it's like तुम्हारे पास जितनी किताबें हैं, okay? तुम्हारे पास जितना knowledge है, okay? उतना मेरे पास नहीं है, right? So because this is your point of reference, आप जितने लंबे हो, okay?
Yeah,
One
got it.
is दूसरे से आप कितने लंबे हो, how tall you are, okay? और आपके पास कितनी किताबें हैं, how many किताबें books you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the corresponding like उतनी मेरे पास नहीं है.
Mm.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to give an example so you can at
Yeah,
least.
I understood. We should
Right?
use the reference.
That's right.
We should use jitni for the reference.
That's right. That's right. So
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
Sharon.
Thank you.
I just have one more quick question with regard to using the what you call the more difficult construction. I'm having trouble understanding the itne or itna, or is it agreeing with the mere pass or is it agreeing with the kitaben?
This one is agreeing with किताबें. मेरे पास इतनी किताबें नहीं हैं जितनी आपके पास है.
Okay, so if kitaben was a masculine noun, would that change to itne?
मेरे पास yes. Let's say you're talking about पैसा, money. Okay, मेरे पास उतना पैसा नहीं है जितना आपके पास है, और जितना पैसा उसके पास है मेरे पास नहीं है.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah. Right. So let's do this one. Okay, I'll try to make it slightly harder so that everyone can think along with it. I mean, translation is easier. I think we've moved past that, right? I mean, so that's why I'm trying to do it where I read it, you think about it. Okay. Imagine you have sentence, there is not as much water in the glass as in the bottle. Okay, the reference is bottle, remember that. So you have a glass and a bottle. There is not as much water in the glass as in the bottle. There isn't as much water in the glass as in the bottle. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to. Palanipanji, you want to try this one out? Because you asked the question of the reference in the previous sentence. Maybe let's try your understanding now. Because you know.
Actually, I know. I'm not sure that this quantity in the bottle is not it's like it's not like in numbers. It's how much.
So it's
It's
how
not how
many and how
many.
much.
So that doubt is.
The both are same. How many and how much you use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. बॉटल में कितना पानी है उतना पानी ग्लास में नहीं है.
Beautiful. जितना पानी बॉटल में है, ओके, जितना पानी बॉटल में है उतना, you can remove it, it's implied, and then you can say what's the other one, glass में नहीं है,
ग्लास
में नहीं है. This glass is the container glass, basically the cup, or you can change it because glass is also that material, right? So you can remove it and say cup में नहीं है. Okay, but I hope it makes sense. Any questions, anyone on this one?
Can you do the longer version?
Yes, you can do that totally.
The postposition won't like mutate anything in any way, will it?
Say it, this one, glass में?
Oh yeah, or the first one actually. So like, there's nothing would become oblique because of the may.
No. It will not be oblique. So basically, you're saying जितने पानी bottle में है. Is that what you're thinking?
Something like that. Yeah.
No, it will not. Okay. Well, too many rules, it can kind of hard, right? Because then you're questioning every single every single thing. Anyway, you somebody wanted to try it the complicated way, right? Sharon ji,
Yeah,
I think.
that was
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I put glass में उतना पानी नहीं है जितने bottle है.
जितना पानी.
No, I started with glass. Glass में उतना पानी नहीं है जितना bottle है.
Bottle.
Oh, you need another में. Bottle में है.
That's right. It's correct. The sentence is absolutely correct. What she said was glass में उतना पानी नहीं है जितना bottle में है. Okay, absolutely correct. Okay, this time I'm not going to write it. This time I'm definitely going to say it, which is next one is he didn't eat as much chocolate as I did. He didn't eat as much chocolate as I did. I want all of you to try it out, and I want all of you to type it. This time the reference is I, basically. He didn't eat as much or as many chocolates as I did. Okay, this is just to kind of recall you. I ate chocolate. To eat is, it's a transitive verb. You eat something and it is used in the past tense, right? So I ate chocolate. Okay, so hopefully it helps you. I think all of you are on the right track. Awesome. Okay, Shan, do you want to give it a try?
Sure. Is it मैं जितना chocolate खाया उसने खाया
उसने नहीं खाई.
नहीं खाया.
Say it one more time.
मैं जितना chocolate खाया उतने उसने नहीं खाया.
Okay, so with may you're not using any post position, but with वह you are using a post position. Which one you think is correct? You're saying उसने, but with मैं you're saying मैंने chocolate खाया.
Okay.
मैं chocolate खाया, right? So what would you rather?
Sorry, is it मुझको? Sorry, or no.
So with वह you're putting ने.
Oh, sorry, I'm blanking.
No, you're on the right track. So I ate is to
So
eat is
मैंने
very
खाया.
good. Yeah,
मैंने
very good.
खाया. Yeah.
Right. So then
he eats would be he ate would be मैंने खाया. उसने.
so the first, well, yeah, you for second was already correct. Now you know the first one because मैंने खाया, right? So now you just have to say it with that. So
I don't know. Sorry, it's just a total blank. Sorry.
no, you're on the right track, right? So you just basically you said जितनी chocolates मैंने खाई. Okay, I think your sentence was absolutely correct. You just put मैं खाया. I was just trying to probe you to use ने with मैंने, which you eventually came to it, but you
Oh,
just
okay.
the full thing, right? So जितनी chocolates मैंने खाई उतनी उसने नहीं खाई.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. I understand. Okay, that makes
Yeah, you were on the right track, by the way. The sentence was absolutely correct, right? I mean, so, any questions, anyone? Basically, you can say it either ways. If some of you wrote it, उसने उतनी chocolate नहीं खाई जितनी मैंने खाई, that's correct. If you wrote it, जितनी chocolate मैंने खाई, उसने नहीं खाई, that's also correct. If some of you wrote, जितनी chocolates मैंने खाई, उसने उतनी chocolates नहीं खाई, that's also correct. Okay, and I think most of you, almost all of you wrote it around that only. I'll take a pause if anyone has any questions. If anybody is still finding it hard, feel free to.
Yeah, I think something like the last sentence, it's like sometimes hard to figure out if it's the he or the I that's the relative part, I think. Because it's like, how much, like, I guess the question, like, if it was interrogative, would be like, how much chocolate did I eat? Or like, how much chocolate did he eat? I guess, how do you know which part's legit? Like, he didn't eat as much chocolate as I did. Is it comparative to me or him?
Yeah. So the harder part was like to put jitni or jitni chocolates मैंने खाई. Which part was harder? Like why are you putting खाई versus khaya? Is that the question? Versus ne is the question, or jitni is the question?
I think yeah, the second one. So jitni chocolate mene versus jitni chocolate usne, I guess, or something like that. Like sorry, so in English there's the I and the he. And how do you
I see.
Yeah.
So if it is hard, the sentence is I ate. First start with I ate, right? Would be मैंने. If it is I ate, मैंने, you will by default go with masculine. मैंने खाया. If you're talking about मैंने chocolates, मैंने chocolates, then this is feminine. So मैंने chocolates खाई, right? I and then reference is you. मैंने उतनी chocolates खाई, और मैंने जितनी chocolates खाई, sorry, उतनी उसने नहीं खाई. Okay, look at it one more time, Shanji. I would say look at this, like one more time, compared with the previous examples, and then if it is still hard, we can definitely do the discussion on the WhatsApp or Discord. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Anyone else before we?
Just still on the chocolate. So is chocolate feminine because it's an English word?
Is chocolate feminine even though it's an English word? Yes, it's chocolate is somehow Hindi speakers when they say it, it just comes as it's feminine.
I wondered if it was chocolate, so it was jitney, but whichever one it is, if it's jitna, jitney, or jitney, it has to agree with the utna, utni, utne. They both have to agree with each other.
So, who would like to answer this one? Anita ji, you want to answer this one?
Yes, they have to agree because we are talking about adjectives, and they will always have to agree with what they are referring to.
Okay,
right. And in this case, chocolates, which is flabbergasting because these English words for Hindi speakers have an automatic gender, which nobody can explain, but chocolates are feminine, yeah.
I thought it was because it was like an English word, because doesn't that always default to a feminine if you use the English word?
Not according to my husband, no.
Oh, okay, well, nobody listen to me, please.
Don't they usually default to the feminine? Usually.
Well, I thought that, but I wouldn't trust me.
Every time I ask my husband, how do you know? How do you know that this random thing is masculine or feminine? Well, they just know.
Yeah, I think it's intuitively whatever is coming. Like, so even though imagine if a new software or new thing were to be developed, it will automatically will be put into the bucket basically, that it appears more like, masculine or feminine. So this is the hardest part actually. Like you can look at all the white papers that are being developed. There is no sort of like, conclusive pattern there, other than like what you've done, like rivers are feminine, mountains are masculine, but there are only some of those. But like laptop, bike, scooter, English word, it's extremely hard. Like, it's
But so long as they agree, it doesn't matter. But those two words always have to agree.
yeah.
Even if I've got the gender wrong, at least I get it wrong consistently.
So I mean, the thing is like there's no need to memorize it. It's just like, when you talk. Sometimes it's the case where the Hindi word is one way and the English translation, English exact change of that is the other.
I know, that's confusing.
So
Okay, keeps it
yeah.
fun. Like, thank you, everybody.
You wanted to share something?
Not really. No.
Right, so we'll do one more. I think adverbs we can shift it to the next class, but I'm gonna quickly share my screen. So just like we did a jitna, itna, utna, jitna, kitna. Now, just look at this one also. Now we will do aise like this. Aise is like this. Okay. Vaise is like that. Jaise is also just as or in the same way. Or kaise, as you know, is your interrogative, which is how. Okay. So
Ashuji, can you repeat it, please?
yeah, aise is like this or in this way. Vaise like that. Okay, just like that or in that way. Vaise. And then jaise is just as or in the same way, and kaise is how. Okay, so remember we are giving the example of jitni chocolates मैंने खाई उतनी उसने नहीं खाई. Okay, imagine you have to compare and contrast. जैसे मुझे चॉकलेट्स पसंद है, I like chocolates, मुझे चॉकलेट्स पसंद है. Okay, मुझे चॉकलेट्स पसंद है. Okay, मुझे, you want to say जैसे मुझे पसंद है वैसे उसे पसंद है. ओके, जैसे मुझे पसंद है वैसे उसे पसंद है. जैकी जी, व्हाट डू यू थिंक द ट्रांसलेशन वुड बी?
You like them as much as me?
What? No. What do you think intuitively? What will come to your mind?
Do you like as much as me?
The way, remember, he likes chocolates the same way as I do.
Oh, okay.
Right? So now we are talking about jaise, vaise, in this way, in that way, how. So he likes the chocolate the same way as I do.
Okay.
She likes swimming just the way I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you like, I like it too, basically. So just the manner or the way that you like it. Okay. As you work quickly, just like that, I do as well. Okay. So I'll give some examples. First, we'll do the.
Sorry, Ashuji, how is the reference? What's the reference point here? How do you fix that?
We'll do that. Okay. So let's look at this example, and then hopefully it will help you. Okay. So imagine you have. I'm going to write down this one. जैसे आपको पसंद है, and you can put anything. जैसे आपको पसंद है वैसे मुझको पसंद है. ओके, जैसे वैसे, जैसे you have जैसे here, and then you have वैसे. Okay, your standalone sentence would be आपको पसंद है. Okay, you like. मुझे पसंद है. First one is आपको पसंद है, you like. Second one is मुझको पसंद है, I like. Okay, जैसे आपको पसंद है, the you know, I like it this, you know, जैसे आपको पसंद है वैसे मुझे पसंद है. Just like the way, you know, the way you like, same way I like it too. Okay, let me make it an easier version for you. मुझे जैसे आपको पसंद है, मुझे भी आपके जैसे. It'll make it even more confusing. Okay, let me keep it simple. जैसे आपको पसंद है वैसे मुझे पसंद है. So the reference is the other person, the way they like it. जैसे आपको पसंद है वैसे मुझे पसंद है. I'm going to write down some more examples to make it easy. जैसे आप, I'm going to write it in English. आप जैसे आप swim करते हैं. Okay, जैसे आप swim करते हैं वैसे मैं भी करता हूँ, स्विम करता हूँ. वैसे मैं भी स्विम करता हूँ. जैसे वैसे. ओके, लेट्स से कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट. जैसे आप quickly, I'm going to just write down quickly here just to make it easy. जैसे आप quickly काम करते हैं वैसे मैं नहीं, I cannot, मैं नहीं कर सकता. Okay, वैसे मैं नहीं कर सकता, which is same as I cannot work as quickly as you. मैं आपके जैसे क्विकली काम नहीं कर सकता. ओके, मैं आपके जैसे स्विम करता हूं. मुझे आपके जैसे समोसा पसंद है. ओके, दैट्स अनदर वे ऑफ यू राइटिंग इट विदाउट यूजिंग जैसे एंड वैसे. ओके, आपके जैसे रेफरेंस, you can use that. Okay, look at it one more time. The basic questions can easily come because we are doing it a new topic, right? So it's read it one more time. जैसे आपको पसंद है वैसे मुझे पसंद है. जैसे आप स्विम करते हैं वैसे मैं भी स्विम करता हूँ. जैसे आप क्विकली काम करते हैं वैसे मैं नहीं कर सकता. Okay, now we'll take questions because new topics so easily can come. Thoughts everyone is thinking?
Suji, you started a sentence with the samosa. What would that one have been?
So this one?
No, I think you didn't write that one, but you kind of mentioned it. As much as you like samosa, I do. You didn't write it.
I didn't write it.
You were about to, but you kind of started saying it, and I started writing it.
So if I were to say it again, I would say मुझे आपके जैसे समोसे. You want to write?
आपके जैसे. Okay.
मुझे आपके जैसे मुझे समोसे पसंद हैं. It
Okay.
doesn't mean like samosa like you. It means like just the way you like it. I
Right.
like.
Yeah.
I like It's not giving the adjective to the person that it's not calling the person samosa. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? So let's say you have to write this one. Okay, I will do. What will you say this one? I will do. How will you translate this? I will do.
मैं करूँगा.
Very good. मैं करूँगा. Simple, right? Anybody, most of you should be able to मैं करूँगा. Okay. Now you have you say or you will say. How will you translate this one? You will say.
आप
मैं
बोलेंगे.
बोल करूँगा.
Okay. Very good. आप बोलेंगे. Okay. What is the other way of saying it?
कहेंगे.
Very good. आप कहेंगे. Very good. कहना is also to tell or to say. Okay. Now imagine if you were to put जैसे and वैसे on this construct. How will you put it? अनीता जी?
जैसे आप बोलेंगे वैसे मैं करूँगी.
Okay. जैसे आप बोलेंगे वैसे मैं करूँगा और करूँगी. What does it mean?
Whatever you say, I will do.
Exactly, right? So I'll do the same way as you will explain it to me, right? I will do in that same way, manner. जैसे आप बोलेंगे, okay? Like जैसे आप बोलेंगे, we are talking about जैसे, but like typically you will see Hindi speakers when they're nodding it, like जो आप बोलो, like whatever you will say will make it happen, right? So naturally it comes like जो, but it's talking about जो basically, but yeah, you get the point. जैसे आप कहेंगे और जैसे आप बोलेंगे वैसे मैं करूँगा. Okay. Let's do one more. So imagine you have a sentence where you want to say what is to think in Hindi?
देखना.
To think is सोचना. Very good.
सोचना है.
So imagine you have to use the past tense of it. So perfective participle. Sorry, सोच. I wrote down. So past participle, what would be that? Or perfective participle.
सोचा.
Socha, very good. Okay. And you want to say to happen, happened basically.
हुआ.
Wow, very good. Very good, right? So now you have two of these. You have to write A and B. Basically implying whatever I thought without saying I, similar happened or same thing happened.
ये से वह सोचा.
Very good.
ये से वह सोचा. सब. सब. Oh my God, I forgot it. अब जितना हुआ.
वैसा.
No. Oh my God, nein.
It's
Besser,
okay.
ja, stimmt, besser. Oh my God.
जैसा सोचा वैसा हुआ.
Sorry.
जैसा मैंने सोचा वैसा हुआ, right? Just the way I thought it sort of manifested the same way. Exactly, it happened the same way. Okay. Or for example, let's say, just say like Anita ji just went to India, right? Like this was not probably her first time. She probably went there many times. But imagine you're going for the first time and somebody asks you like, oh, how is it? जैसे मैंने सोचा वैसा ही है. Okay, it's exactly the way I thought, or the opposite also. जैसे मैंने सोचा वैसा नहीं है. Like I thought in a certain way, but it's not like that. It's different. And then the question would be, how is it different in a good way or a bad way, right? I mean, but hopefully it kind of gives you the summary, right?
Just a question, please.
Yes, please.
You translated that as it happened just as I thought.
So जैसे मैंने सोचा वैसा हुआ. Like however I thought, it happened in the same way. वैसा हुआ.
It happened in the same way. So if you were saying it happened just as he thought.
So I didn't write I or he, but like that you can play around with it. जैसे मैंने सोचा और जैसे उसने सोचा, you can play around like, and you can translate it that way, right? I mean, so I didn't, if I use any particular pronoun and I didn't translate it, it's basically just, so let's say if you're saying in both the cases I, right?
Yeah.
It happened exactly as I thought. Then you जैसे मैंने सोचा वैसे हुआ. Okay, if you're talking about जैसे शीला ने सोचा वैसा हुआ, right? You can play around with that, like in both the cases.
So Anita G went to India, and I heard she gave a really good speech, of which I probably would never be able to talk like that. So would this be right if I say like, जैसे आप हिंदी बोलने की कोशिश करते हैं, वैसे ही मैं भी कोशिश करूंगी?
That's right. Yeah, जैसी हिंदी आप बोलते हैं वैसे बोलने की मैं भी कोशिश करूंगी. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Right, so it's very good actually. और जैसी हिंदी मेरे ख्याल से जैसी हिंदी अनीता जी बोलती है वैसे ही आप भी बोलती हैं. Right, that's how I would say. Like the way she talks, you also speak equally, that same way. Okay. Any questions? Anyone?
Actually, just a quick thought, because I was in a school for 4 weeks, and my teacher, I just put it in the chat to Nandini ji, because he never allowed me to say that something was hard, I couldn't get it, or I'll never speak Hindi, those things, just like your last sentence. Whatever you think will happen, he always said, right? It'll manifest. So don't ever think negatively about your
Yeah.
Hindi skills.
Awesome. All right, we are 4 minutes over. So I'm going to stop the broadcast, and if there are any final questions, we'll take it from the group. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to first stop the broadcast. I don't know whether okay, let's see.